Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us and being on the coach call. And for those of you who are rewatching this video later, I'm glad that you're taking the time to watch this. My intention for this call is that we'll keep it to about 30 minutes. And the topic for tonight is sharing versus advertising. Basically, the difference between being either obnoxious or magnetic. This is actually stirred from a question that a coach on our team asked. She was asking, how do you share on social media and with your friends in a way that doesn't put them off, that's actually really inviting to them? Because I think she saw some people doing it in a way that she just thought was really annoying and didn't want to be like that. And I can really relate to that as well, especially when I first got started. I was looking at what other coaches were doing, and I saw that there were some who, I looked at their posts and I was like, ugh, if that's what it means to be a coach, I don't know if I want to do that, because it just seems really annoying. So rather than kind of figure it out, I spent a lot of time just kind of avoiding sharing my life with other people, both in person and on social media, and it really hurt my business. So, what I'd love to brainstorm with you guys tonight is how we can share in a way that is magnetic rather than obnoxious. And we'll have some key takeaways at the end of our call so that you can actually put them into your business immediately and see some great growth. So that's my intention for the call. And we'll get started. So first of all, what I'd like to do is do a brainstorming session. So if you are taking notes, make two columns, and one column is going to be obnoxious, and the other column is going to be magnetic. And okay, making these magnetic. And just to let you know, I'm drawing a lot of this content actually from a course that I took with Danny Johnson on being magnetic. So, if you're looking to get another resource on just developing a sense of magnetism about you, then I would highly recommend it. It's on 2 CDs. So anyway, obnoxious or magnetic. And what I'd like to do is just brainstorm, what have you noticed other people, we can actually broaden this not just for coaches, but for people in general. What have you noticed people are doing in the way that they share that is either magnetic or obnoxious? And feel free to literally scroll through your Facebook feed right now, or you can remember particular things that you've seen in the past and you just thought like, wow, I would never ever want to do that. Or wow, this is a really interesting way to post and to share. Then let's just kind of brainstorm some experiences that you have had and I have had as well.
You want to go first, Michael, or?
Sure, I'll get us started. Okay, I'm just going to start off with obnoxious because I have a lot of energy about that right now. So one of the really obnoxious things that I've seen is when this happened today. I've got this friend who's in some business. It's not Beachbody, but she is constantly talking about it, and she actually shares posts on my Facebook page about her business. Like, she's literally sharing an advertisement on my Facebook page. And every time she does that, I untag myself. And I think it's one of the most annoying things. So I will never do that. I think that's really obnoxious.
So no posting your stuff on anybody else's stuff.
Yeah, don't post advertisements on other people's pages.
All right, I got one. Let's see, obnoxious. I'll tell you one thing that when I first became a coach, what really drew me off, I tell Josh Spencer this all the time. I said after the first month, I almost quit because I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like what you're, what I saw was not who I wanted to be. And what I saw, because Josh put me in a group of a bunch of coaches that were new. He had signed up like, I don't know, like 15 coaches that week, and he just put us all in this group. And immediately I started friending all those coaches and, Facebook friending them and everything. And the first thing that I saw was all the coaches going straight to teambeachbody.com, going straight to the monthly promotions, and copying and pasting what's on sale that month.
Ugh.
And that just drove me nuts. I said, dude, I would never, ever follow a link if someone posted that. Like, I would just be like, dude, okay, great for you. That's on sale. Like, I don't care. I have no connection with that product. So posting like retail sale stuff on your Facebook page, and I've done it before. Guilty enough, I've done it once or twice, and I felt so stupid that I removed it right after I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But just posting like sale stuff on your Facebook page, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Oh yeah. The one that I see the most is related to that. It's the salesy business of plugging the exact same thing over and over without an explanation of what it's for.
Mm.
Time and time again. Like, Shakeology is great, you should try it. Shakeology is great, you should try it. Shakeology is great, right? Here's a picture of me with my Shakeology, you should try it. That drives me crazy.
There's no value in that post.
Yeah.
Like, we have
No
no
understanding
idea what that is or what it's done for you.
And it keeps coming back like a mosquito you want to swat. Stop telling me it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one for me.
The more it's annoying.
Yeah. I seriously went to those people's pages and didn't unfriend them, but I unfollowed them. So I don't see. I've literally unfollowed people, which sadly enough, they might have content that I would find valuable, but I'll never see it because you've done that so many times that I just unfollow you. I don't see anything you post anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Let's see.
Negativity, I think, is a huge turnoff. Like, when I see people, and this is not, specifically Beachbody, but just in general, when I see people calling out their exes, which happens, and it's like the stupidest thing in the world. When I see people complaining about whatever, like their job or, I guess, the weather, I get, we live in Chicago, and yeah, winter sucks, but if it's like over and over and over, I'm over it.
Yeah. They don't find the joy in anything.
Yeah. Like, good. We get it. Yeah. It's not on everybody. Or when people complain about how busy they are, I think that's like one of the least interesting things in the world.
You hit that right there. I got to write that
We're all
down.
busy. We're all tired, or it's not something that really adds value. So like negativity and complaining, I think, would go on my obnoxious list.
Yeah, and that's not just a Facebook thing either. I have a friend who can't wait to tell you, first to come say hi to you, then you ask what they're doing for lunch, and they can't wait to turn around and say, oh, I'm very busy. Mm-hmm. The Facebook equivalent of that is also annoying, right? Look at me, I'll have time for you. Look at me, I'll have time for you.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. What a strange habit to be in, right?
Yeah. Well, and the worst part is, I don't really want to say names, but my cousin that's on Facebook, he is just a douchebag. I mean, this guy will seriously just negative, and then try to post something inspirational. It's like, dude, come on, your life is in shambles. Like, what value am I going to take on anything you say positive when every post from Facebook is just, like you said, my ex, my this, oh my God, woe is me, It's just horrible.
His posts are kind of bipolar, it sounds like.
It is, I swear. So many people on Facebook are like that. They're just bipolar. They just want you to know every detail of their life.
Ugh.
I don't know.
That's another one, the mundane posts. I've had a friend that repeatedly has said, just got back from the bathroom.
No.
You've got to be kidding. And then she has a poll. Are you wad or wipe? Are you like, do you wad it
Oh,
up or do you?
wow.
I'm like, oh, somebody kill me.
Unfollow.
Yeah. Don't post pictures in the bathroom.
So let's talk about frequency. Like, how often
Yes.
is somebody
Yeah.
posting? Is it like clogging up your news feed? I mean, if it's every little single waking moment.
Yeah. Horrible, horrible.
Yeah, I've gone through kind of swings where, like, of course, when I first started with Facebook, like I don't know, maybe posted every week or so, or every few days, and then then I went through some specific coach training where I was posting 6 times a day. And it was a big adjustment for me, but I was like, I got to do this because this is like what what successful coaches do. And I actually got a lot of friends talk to me about it, and they were like, you know what, we just can't handle. There's so much. It's just too much, and I've unfollowed you. I'm sorry, but it was too much. And I know that there are some coaches now that are even advocating posting 10 times a day. So maybe there's a difference in your circle and how much they are used to, but I know at least for me in my circle, that's too much. Like right now, I try to go for between like 2 and 4 posts a day.
That's about where I'm at. Two to five is what I try to stay at.
Mm-hmm.
There's always with anything, there's always gonna be the ups and downs. Some days you don't post but once, or some days you post 10. Just depending on what's going on in, I guess, current events or whatever's going on.
Right.
So I don't know. When I went through Josh's training, he was telling us. He says he posts on the hour. He posts every hour and 15 minutes. He'll make a post.
Whoa.
And so for months and months, I did that. Every single hour and 15 minutes, I did a post, and I got better reactions at just posting 2 or 3, 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
But he holds a lot more value and credibility too. So he's got a lot more people that look to him for posts.
He also was alternating between his personal and his like page.
Yeah, he was about half and half. He was telling me.
Yeah.
So.
What annoys you? What's obnoxious?
Writing down these damn coach calls.
That's not a post, but okay. Let's see. I don't know.
Nothing annoys you?
No, I'm pretty easy.
What?
Go-to guy.
Wow.
All right. Well, Pete's just such a positive guy. When we get to the magnetic list, I'm sure you'll have lots to say.
Yeah. So why don't you kick off the magnetic list, Michael?
Good. Magnetic. I see when people are celebrating major events like, a birthday or a wedding, something that's, celebrating some sort of a major event. I think those posts tend to do really well. They get a lot of interaction, likes, and comments.
Definitely. I noticed a lot, which I don't know what this really falls in, but I've noticed people get a lot of good response. Kind of sad to say it like this, but when something's going bad in their life, like if their kid is sick or whatever, to me that, I don't know if that's weird, but it draws me to people that are going through struggles because you feel for them and you relate to their situation. Like it takes you back to a time when you were at that situation or something similar. And I think it kind of brings you together with a connection to that person. Like their kid is sick and they're going through something, they're in the ER or whatever. And immediately I think, well, I remember when my kids were in the ER and, yada, yada, yada. And I just connect. And I usually follow that up with a really long and strong and powerful comment, versus just the typical, oh, great comment, or something like that, So I guess I don't know how you would paraphrase that, but
Yeah, I see that. And can we make a distinction between like sharing an actual life struggle that you're going through versus just complaining?
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like, hey guys, my kid's sick today. I'm looking for prayers. You know, all that kind of thing. Versus, Jesus, man, my kid is sick again. He was just sick last week. Now he's sick again. I bet he'll be sick next week. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, well, hey, you know, when it's 30 degrees out, put a jacket on him.
Right.
Don't post a Facebook picture with him without a jacket in the snow.
Just want to shake them.
Yeah, I've actually seen that. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good one.
So I guess just talking about struggles or
Yeah, like sharing some sort of a struggle, like something that's personal that a lot of people can relate to,
yeah,
something we have in common. And you can even kind of pair those first two things together, like celebration and struggle,
yeah,
with that idea of like, is there something that you've overcome?
exactly. Yep,
Have you turned your mess into a message?
yep,
Something you've really felt like, maybe is very personal, you might not want to share while you're going through it, but after you've had some sort of a resolution, it's really inspirational when you see, people kind of triumph. I
yeah,
think
exactly. Definitely.
mess into message.
Messy. I love that. It's a really powerful thing if you think about it. Taking your mess into a message, it really is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
I mean, it really gives you as a person. It gives you so much credibility as just being a great person to be able to talk about your mess and flip it and make someone learn from that or something. I mean, it's just powerful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it shows a lot of strength to
Yeah,
be vulnerable.
yeah, yeah. Vulnerability is huge. I think vulnerability, the right kind of vulnerability, is huge as far as coaches go, because a lot of coaches, especially we talked about this before, but a lot of men don't like sharing feelings and don't like doing that stuff, and it just makes you seem like the typical caveman man. You just are just a blank space. You need to open up and you need to show vulnerability in order to get people to trust you and want to be around you, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
The way I see it. Chris?
Well, actually, I was going to talk about vulnerability, which was very closely related to that. But
There you
actually,
go.
you kind of expanded the topic to include that, so that's good. I think it is. It's a sort of vulnerability. You're asking for help without complaining, and you're kind of seeking group resolution, which is also important. You're not always saying, "I've got the answer." Do you have the answer? And I think when you do that, you're really reaching to pull people in to kind of bridge an understanding. I think that's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
If you always have the answer, that's kind of on the obnoxious column. Oh, here's how you deal with that.
There you go. Let's write that down.
You know,
The know-it-all.
the know-it-alls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Ugh.
Ugh.
I'm gonna stab an ice pick in those people's face. Ugh. That's probably the number one. That's my number one annoying thing on Facebook is the know-it-all. There's always that person on Facebook that just posts about every topic. They know everything. They never struggle. They never have anything. They just know everything. They have all the answers. And I just think to myself, what a sad life. They probably get off Facebook and their life is in pieces, you know?
Exactly.
Can
It's all
I
a
add to
shell game.
oh, sorry. What was that, Chris?
No, it's just a shell game. You're right. Their life is
Yeah.
probably in shambles.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
Oh.
showing versus what's real? Also, like the know-it-all, like the one-upper is
Oh, yeah.
of mine.
Oh God.
There's
Yes.
a couple people in my list who just, no matter what I say, they're like, well, it could have been better.
Oh, I hate that. God, I hate that.
I prefer organic almond milk instead of that, or
Yeah.
I was like, geez, thank you for your opinion. I really did.
Yeah. The one upper or the person who's done everything. You can't talk about an experience. Oh, I've done that. oh, that was all. It's like, dude, what haven't you done? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You've done everything, right? You have no bucket list. You've just done everything.
Yeah.
The no bucket list person.
It's remarkable. Like, how many lives have they led?
Yeah. That's true.
You wonder, like, if they're lying also.
Peter,
Peter?
magnetic. Draw me to you.
I like the inspirational quotes that basically sometimes people apply what they learned after reading it. So
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So it's not just some picture of an inspirational quote, but it's personalized. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Like tied into their life, you mean?
yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Questions? When people ask questions, that
I like
a lot
the
of
overnight hold.
a lot of response, or asking for people's opinions.
Yeah, that's a good one. Asking for people's opinions. People
love
love that.
Yeah, they like overnight polls.
Yep. Yep. When we started doing those overnight polls, that really causes engagement.
Man, that skyrocketed my engagement, dude. Really, I don't do them every night, but when I do, I think of a really good one, And sometimes I'll wake up and I'll have like 60, 70 comments and like 300-400 likes, So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll have people message me and just say, like, thank me for doing those overnight polls, because they're so interested in reading everybody's response.
Yeah.
The key is asking a question that you think other people would be really fascinated to see what other people think.
Yeah, definitely. I was just going to say one, and Janet cut me off and screwed me up. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't blame Janet.
Welcome, Janet.
Damn it.
Hey there.
Can you lower your camera so we can see more than your forehead?
Doing the Wilson look.
The Wilson, yes.
There you go. Janet, we are brainstorming right now the difference between obnoxious and magnetic kinds of posts on Facebook, or even just people in real life. So if there's anything that comes to mind for you that you've noticed that is just either super obnoxious and you're like, I hope I never ever would ever do that, or magnetic, like, oh wow, that was a really interesting thing, then feel free to jump in, and we're just making some lists.
Well, I know I was thinking about it today. Sorry, my voice is a little scratchy today. I was thinking about it today when you get those telephone calls and they are a salesperson and you tell them no, and it seems like they don't listen. You're not trying to you're not being listened to when you tell them the reasons why. They just kind of go over you and keep saying, oh, I know, but, and then it's almost like they ignore what you just said. Mm-hmm. And I think, to me, that's obnoxious. That, you know what, I'm close to just hanging up on you when you talk to me like that.
That's a good one. Yeah. And that shows up on social media as well, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah. Or when people try to down talk you, like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, oh no, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Them kind of people. God.
Don't be like that. I have something to add to the magnetic column. It's video. Like,
yeah,
taking videos of yourself, of, I literally just watched a video this afternoon of a friend who, and the video was like 4 minutes long. It's like way longer than I would ever think to post, but he was just literally like talking to me, talking to us through the camera, shared about his day. He shared about how he just got this job offer, so he's celebrating a major event. And then, without any sort of transition, he said, now I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my protein shake. And he literally just let the camera run while we were watching this protein shake. And he just has, what I loved about his videos is that you could really see his heart and his personality and his passion. There's just a really close connection. So I think video is awesome.
Yeah, video is huge for me too. Videos of your life / yeah. I guess you could slash that video / pictures, because it's always magnetic when people post pictures of their kids and their wife or their family or their husbands or whatever. You know, it kind of draws you in. I read something, I don't even know where I read it. I read it a few months ago about people who post on Facebook. You're like, I don't know what percentage it was, but it's like 70 or 80% more likely to stop and look at someone's picture or video than text post, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a good statistic there. And to add to that, I read in that book, Fascinate by Sally Hogshead, she has this one section where she talks about how powerful the face is. You know, we're all kind of talking about selfies a lot of times, but there's actually like a genetic, I don't know, inborn reason why we're drawn to faces. And she described this kid who had some sort of brain disorder where he did not recognize faces, and talked about his development and how like it was a huge hindrance in his life, and how, you know, for most people, you know, at a very early age, we're drawn to faces, particularly the eyes. So even though a lot of people kind of rag on Kim Kardashian for posting lots of selfies, she knows what she's doing, and that, you know, the face is one of the most attractive parts of a person.
Definitely, I agree.
That's a good point.
Thanks, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, and Ray J.
Other things magnetic, things that are funny, I think are awesome. I love, you know, a funny video, a meme, you know, just something funny. I think that's awesome. Very magnetic.
I like also when people are showing a demonstration. I watched a video not too long ago where a girl was showing how to make those zucchini noodles. And for me, that was kind of interesting because I heard about them, but I didn't know how to make it. And so when you actually show a video on how to make something or how to do something, then that attracts people to look at it.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Awesome. We got a lot of good stuff here.
Yes, we do. So how about this? I know we all have a great list, and we can continue to brainstorm and add to this list even after the call. I think this is really, really gold stuff. I wanted to just kind of transition into specific Beachbody topics as it relates to this list. And so the first thing is, you know, we talked about frequency of posting, like how many posts a day is appropriate. And I know we're all kind of in a different part of the spectrum, and I think you know, each person has to figure out what makes sense in their life and with what their circle can handle and can expect. So, you know, if that is also, you know, so if you're doing like 6 posts a day, but you only do that for 2 days and then you're off for 2 weeks after after that, then it's not really going to have a great impact. So I think each person, just has to decide what is their frequency and what can they be consistent with. And then in particular about Beachbody, frequency, how often do you talk about Beachbody, or how often do you talk about fitness or health? For me, I like to do, it's hard because I have to like hold myself back. I want to talk about it all the time. But I try to do like about a 4-to-1 ratio where for every 4 posts about something else, I can allow myself to talk about Beachbody or talk about fitness or health. Do you guys have some sort of a ratio that you try to stick to?
Dude, mine's 4-to-1, exactly on the button.
Is it?
That's funny you said. That's why I smiled when you said that. I usually do. I usually stick to that. It seems to work. It just seems to work. It to me, because health and fitness is such a sensitive subject with people who haven't started their journey, that it's I think it's post 4 times about random stuff and then hit them. If you just anything more than 1 or 2 fitness posts a day, I think is too much for people. It's like now you're cramming it down their throat. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think to add on to what you're saying is also recognizing which posts that you're posting are getting the most attention from basically what niche group are you, whatever you're going for. Recognizing that, hey, man, I'm posting about this like once a day, but I get like 2 likes. But I post this and I get 50 likes and 15 comments, so it's kind of like recognizing.
Yeah. It's way better to have non-fitness related posts that get more engagement than to have fitness related posts that don't get as much engagement. Because what you can then do is build relationships one-on-one through private messaging. And that's where you can have like a great conversation. So, if they see that in general, like your public face is one that is helpful, encouraging, inspiring, funny, creative, then the one-on-one conversations that you have are going to be a lot more productive. And then I want to know what you guys think about this, and that is, do you mention product names? And if so, how often do you do it? I know for me, I have, over the last 1.5 years or so, basically stopped mentioning product names. And
I've got something to speak on that, and this is going to be really awesome for you. You remember how you talked about that last week? From last call on, I haven't mentioned any product names. I've been doing what you've been saying, just describing the product to them. And I've sold 2 challenge packs. So
awesome.
And it works, it honestly does work. I think the people connect more with a description of how you can help them versus here's the name, go look it up. Or here's the name, here's a video.
Yeah.
I used to just, oh man, Body Beast is perfect for you. Let me send you the promo video. And then tell me what you think. It's like, come on. How unpersonal is that? So I say, like, I got this mass gaining program, yada, 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 do the whole thing. It would be perfect for you. This is exactly what you're looking for. I know this is what you've been wanting, and it connects people more, I think.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I think it takes the pressure off too. Like I don't feel like I'm selling something.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel as, I don't know, it can be kind of icky to like push product names for me personally.
I think by doing that, by describing the program versus telling what it is, it completely removes you from the salesman aspect.
Yep.
Completely. You're no longer a salesman. You're someone just describing what program would work for them. I don't know how to explain it. It just, to me, it sounds so much less salesy.
Yeah. We become consultants rather than
exactly
people.
Like you said last week, you completely moved to a recommendation.
Exactly. Exactly.
So thanks for that. I appreciate that because I had never even really, I never even considered doing that. Like it wasn't even a thought to just remove the name and describe something.
Yeah.
I just never thought of it, and you just helped me out a lot with that.
Well, booyah! You got 4 success level points out of that.
There you go, and hopefully I'll have 2 more. I'll have 4 more tonight. Hopefully, we'll see.
Sweet, sweet. So this phrase came to mind, and while I was kind of prepping for tonight, and it ends with a question that I'm curious about you, what you guys think. So the phrase is, a contractor doesn't sell hammers; he sells houses. Beachbody is the hammer. What is the house for you?
Anybody else? I've been talking for a while here.
Well, I think fitness is your house to me. That's fitness is your body is a temple, right? So it's all kind of the same thing to me.
Yeah.
I think when you're showing what works for you, that's what's gonna, tell people what works. Sorry.
That's all right, dude.
And
So I think, as a contractor, I'm trying to sell what works for me, and maybe that might work for you.
mm-hmm.
So I like the idea that fitness and I've done clean eating, and so those are things that work for me, and those are things that I would want to focus on rather than, like you said, the product of Beachbody is just helping me along that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pete, what's your house?
Must be those telemarketers calling.
That's so funny. My phone started ringing right after we talked about that.
It's okay. I posted a post about it, an overnight poll, and it's been getting good response. So, what you say to a telemarketer? It's been great.
What do you think, Michael? What's your answer on that one?
So my house is about a couple things. Confidence. As a performer, just being comfortable on stage. Being comfortable, going out to the pool, going out to the beach, like that's a huge thing. My house is also about like reclaiming power, having a really positive mindset, having energy, the energy to work on a lot of my passions of music and teaching and performing, being able to take selfies. That's my house. Personally, I don't have like family illness history that while there's diabetes in my family, it's not something that's like a really pressing thing on my brain. But I know for many people, their house is staying healthy, is avoiding early onset diabetes. The house could be wearing a really great pair of jeans that you just know that your butt looks amazing in. So like those are my houses and some examples of other houses that I could imagine.
Awesome. Yeah, that's kind of my I guess if you look at it as the metaphor of like the contractor with the hammer in the house kind of thing, the hammer is obviously the tool, which would be our product, and then the house is the finished product. So I guess it would be, your house could be the finished product. Like what is your goal? Like maybe it's your goal. Like what do you work? Like you said, what are you working for? What are you working towards?
Mm-hmm.
What do you aspire to get or to get from the tool? I don't know.
Yeah. And Adam, what's your house?
My house is my family, 100%. It's my family. It's obviously it's my health, but it's for my family. I mean, there's my family right there. Thank you.
House is walking in.
Yeah, my house just walked in. Thank you. Yeah, I guess it goes back to your why, really. I mean, your house is really pretty much your why.
Yep.
I mean, it's why are you using the tool? You know, why does a contractor use a hammer? Because he wants to build a house. Or why do you use Beachbody? Because you want to build, you know, a healthier lifestyle. You know, you want to build freedom. You want to, the whole 9 yards. So I know for me, it's family 100%. I want a better life for me so that I can, give it to my family, and I want to pass that along to my wife and my kids, and I want them to pass that on. I think a lot of us in our generations, we grew up kind of, in an unhealthy environment. I think with today being the most unhealthy that it's ever been, but it's also been the most technically sound for being healthy. We have all these tools at our disposal that I think it's the easiest to be healthy than it's ever been. Even though it's probably not socially acceptable right now, but all the tools are there. So your hammer is there. You just got to go plug away and hammer away, build that house.
Amen. So just to kind of pull all this together, what I'd like to talk about now and to kind of close with is like action steps about, what is it that you're going to be posting about, that we are going to be posting about. So I guess, and then also what frequency makes sense for you. So, for our takeaways from the week, it's basically choose a sharing plan. What is your plan for sharing? And decide on your frequency and your topics. And I'll model it. For me, my sharing plan is that I'll be posting, between 2 and 5 times a day. And for my topics, it's going to be basically that 4-to-1 ratio. So for every 4 posts about my life, motivation, questions, music, fashion, things like that. Those are kind of my outside niches that I'm interested in. And then after about 4 of those posts, then I'll be able to post about something that adds value as it relates to fitness.
What sort of, I got a question for you, I guess, and what sort of fitness posts on that 4-to-1 ratio so that's just one fitness post a day, correct? That you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay, now on that post, what are you doing with that fitness post? Are you just talking about what you did for that day, or are you, I guess, not really promoting a product, but promoting anything, so to speak, or what kind of posts are you posting?
So I could do a variety of things. One that I think works really well is to literally share, what I'm doing or what I did. Like I love, Janet, your idea of like a how-to video. I've been posting some of those kinds of videos. Like I'll demonstrate a move that I do from Body Beast. I've been doing that a lot on Instagram, and that really gets a lot of traction. Or it could be something that's really helpful, like informational, that has helped me, with how I plan my meals or how I schedule my workouts, like just some sort of content that adds value as it relates to fitness. Or if I've got a really great pump that day, then it's going to be a muscle selfie.
Awesome. Yeah, I try to do the same. Do you ever find yourself like you're pretty good at this kind of stuff, but so you probably don't ever find yourself posting the same fitness things over and over. You have a really good repertoire that you go through.
Yeah, Occasionally I'll do some similar type posts. I try to spread them out as much as possible.
Yeah.
But like if you're really present, there's no lack of things that we can talk about.
Sure. Awesome. Anybody else? No?
I think, Michael, that was really helpful to kind of talk about the ratio. And I've been thinking about lately how I've been posting about, I've been doing the PIO program, and I've been posting the little Facebook connection while I'm doing the workout. And I think it was good for you to bring that up, that it's a reminder to me that I can't just post just all about that. I've got to remember to post other things as well. I do a lot of personal things, and I can do fitness, but I should also probably get in there and talk about questions, or talk about the clean eating that I like to talk about, and kind of add those things in there. And I liked your idea of the ratio. That was really helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Janet, do you have a frequency of posting each day that you'd like to schedule?
Well, right now I've been doing my PIO 6 days a week, so I've been trying to get in maybe at least 4 times a week. That workout at the time of the workout, saying, "Hey, I'm doing this right now," and just making little comments that the Super Gym has. But I also will put in those posts about what's going on with my friends and things like that. But I noticed lately it's been a lot more about the PIO workout, and I thought about it today when I was posting about Shalene has a 30-day challenge, that I realized, well, I haven't been talking about other things. I've been talking a lot about the PIO. So that was something that was a reminder. I've been trying to post at least once or twice a day about what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. And then are you posting about 4 times a day, or 3, or how many times a day do you typically post in general?
Well, because I'm at work and I'm kind of limited on how much I can post during the day, I've been trying to post probably 2 or 3 things a day. So, my ratio isn't that high, but it could get, I could see room for improvement.
2 or 3 times a day is great. And I mean, when you think about it, if you're working during the day, then probably everybody in your circle is working during the day. So, I wouldn't put a lot of pressure on myself to try to post during times that I wouldn't even be reading Facebook. So as long as you're consistent, makes sense. That's great.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Chris, how about for you?
Either once or twice a day. I'm not quite sure yet. Probably twice.
Great.
Yeah, with the same kind of rule. I'll try to be more varied in what I talk about, or at least more structured in what I talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better way to put it.
Having a structure has been really helpful for me.
Yeah, I've been pretty inconsistent. The last thing I posted was I wanted to do something silly because I don't think there's enough silliness on the internet. It was a Dr. Seuss post that had almost no traction, but I think primarily because I hadn't posted for a week before. So people are like, who the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a Dr. Seuss word game, a chance to actually, there's a great Dr. Seuss exhibit over in the, I can't remember the name of the mall. It's over in North Michigan, Water Tower Mall. So I had this really cool picture. I posted it up and tried to elicit a rhyme game. Very few people wanted to play. But I think mainly not because it was weird, because it didn't happen for a week.
Yeah.
Inconsistency.
Yeah, definitely. That makes a difference. Great. And Pete, what's your plan?
I'm planning. Let's see. I've done stuff with like Hootsuite and usually got scheduled my posts like for at least the overnight polls, which generally got good response because people were expecting them. But I've also avoided doing that just because of the the reverse effect of, I don't know, using a third party posting agent. So, not that overnight polls posting on Hootsuite were getting less attention, but I didn't want to have my account shut down either. So, generally try to post at least at night when everybody's like on. So like tonight, posting in the call, I posted both on Facebook and Instagram, 2 different things. So it's not like, oh, he posted on Facebook the same exact thing, So it's not like going everywhere. So, but trying to do that. So
your frequency is going to be like once in the evenings?
Generally, if I get around to it, basically it's the frequency of actually just doing it. So it's probably adding a calendar event to remind me to get my butt in gear.
Yep. Treat it like a workout. It's important. You're building your body, you're building your business. You have to have consistency in frequency. And it doesn't have to be 10 times a day, like whatever makes sense for you, but as long as you're consistent, that's way more important than posting a bunch of times a day. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining our call. This has been awesome brainstorming and training. And I'm going to take a picture of my list, and if you have any other things that you put on your list, feel free to take a picture of that and put it in the event, and I'll also post the link to this video.
Alrighty then.
Paul Fonzie.
Hey. Thank you.
Great call.
All right. Bye.